What's up, everybody? Once again, it's your boy, Curly Tlapoyawa, the hardcore archaeologist, with yet another episode of Café con Nawatl. So I've got my café right here. So let's make with some Nawatl. Now, I want to apologize for not putting out a video in quite some time. In fact, the last video I put out was on Mother's Day. But if you haven't noticed, things have been kind of crazy in the world, so I thought it best to just kind of pull back and not just put more noise out there and distract people from important things. But people have been hitting me up asking me for more videos, so here we go. I thought I'd jump right back in. And as you know, yesterday was Father's Day, so I figured it would be a nice follow-up to the previous video where I talked about how to say mother in Nawatl. So today we're going to talk about how to say father in Nawatl. Now, something I should have mentioned in the previous video that I didn't is that all of the relational words in Nawatl, so mother, father, your son, daughter, etc., these are all inherently possessed words. So you're never going to see just the word father by itself. It's always going to be my father or your father or our father. Same thing with any of the other words that have to do with relations. So keep that in mind. Now, how do we say father in Nawatl? Well, the way we say father is tatli or tatle, depending on your accent. And if you'll remember, the way that we break down words in Nawatl is we have stems and suffixes and prefixes. So the suffix for tatli is tli. And the way that we would say my father or your father or our father is nota, mota, or tota. So that's my father, nota, your father, mota, or our father, tota. You can also add that suffix to it, tsin, which is a reverential suffix. So if you wanted to say my beloved father, it would be notatsin. Your beloved father, motatsin, or our beloved father, totatsin. And I wanted to delve in a little bit into the Florentine Codex. If you don't have the Florentine Codex, you should definitely get yourself a copy. This is, which volume is this? This is book 10, The People. And it talks about fatherhood in traditional Nawa society and what was expected of a father. So I wanted to read this out to everybody out there. So, father, tatli. One's father is the source of lineage, the beginning of lineage. He is the sincere one. One's father is diligent, solicitous, compassionate, sympathetic, a careful administrator of his household. He rears, he teaches people, he teaches others, he advises, he admonishes one. He is exemplary. He leads a model life. He stores up for himself. He stores up for others. He cares for his assets. He saves for others. He saves for the future. He teaches thrift, looks to the future. He regulates, distributes with care, and establishes order. So this is, in this book, they're talking about what are the attributes of a good father. And it follows it up with a bad father. So it says that one's bad father, or the bad father, is lazy, incompassionate, negligent, unreliable. He is unfeeling, neglectful of duty, untrustworthy, a shirker, a loafer. So if you get the Florentine Codex, it goes into, the philosophies and histories that were present prior to the Spanish invasion. So this just told us a lot about what was expected of a father. What was fatherhood? What were the responsibilities of being a good father? And I want to challenge all my brothers out there to step up our games and be better fathers. If you're a good father, be a better father. If you're a bad father, be a good father. Just try to elevate what we do. Look to the words of our ancestors. Pull from those words and pick behaviors that we can pass along to our children. You know, behaviors that we can model for the next generation of the young men and the young women. You know, our children, even if they're not your children, you know, children can use positive role models. They need to see positive masculinity. They need to see good fathers out there in the world. And the best way we can do that is to practice those behaviors, model those behaviors so that they see what a good father is. So what I would like everyone to do, all my brothers, in the comments below, just list something that your father did that was positive, that meant something to you. One of his behaviors that you seek to actively emulate and pass on and model for the next generation. I want to keep it positive. I don't want to talk about the bad things that our fathers did. We know what the bad things are, but I want to, you know, everybody jump on the comments and just, you know, leave a couple of sentences. You know, my father did this, my father did that. One thing I can say about my father is that he was a hard worker. He was one of the hardest working individuals I've ever known in my life. In fact, to my dad, his biggest insult was to call you a lazy ass. If he called you a lazy ass, it meant that he saw you as just totally worthless, right? So he would call you out. If you weren't working, if you weren't doing something productive, he would call you out. So that's something that I really admired about my dad, was he was always hardworking. He worked so hard and he took pride in his work. He didn't, you know, just do stuff to get it done. He did it and he put his all into it. So Dad, I love you. Happy Father's Day. That meant a lot to me, and it's something that I try to instill in myself and pass along to my kids. So this has been the Father's Day episode of Café con Nawatl. I'm glad that you joined me. Please leave a comment below. Let's keep it positive, and I'll see you next time. Tlasokamati Welmiak. Thank you very much.